Hello, everyone. My name is Caroline Riseborough, and I'm the President and CEO of Trillium Health Partners Foundation. A very warm welcome to everybody who is online with us today, especially given that after 2 years of the pandemic, this is a little bit of our new normal. So again, just welcome to everybody online. I want to start off with a land acknowledgement. The land on which Trillium Health Partners operates has been the site of human activity for 15,000 years. It is the treaty lands and territory of the Mississaugas of the Credit First Nation. It's also the traditional territory of the Huron, Wendat, and Haudenosaunee, and lands and lakes in this region continue to be home to many First Nations, Inuit, and Métis communities across Turtle Island, which is currently known as North America. They continue to mobilize, live, and care for these lands and its inhabitants. I'd like to acknowledge and welcome the thousands of people that are joining us today, including the staff and professional staff of Trillium Health Partners, our volunteers, our learners, our esteemed members of the hospital and foundation board and community, thousands of donors and supporters, as well as family, friends, and colleagues, and most importantly, Peter Gilgan and his family. To everyone joining, a heartfelt thank you on what is truly a historic day for Trillium Health Partners and philanthropy in Canada. Trillium Health Partners has been under tremendous pressure over many years to meet the healthcare needs of our rapidly growing and changing community, with both Mississauga Hospital and Credit Valley Hospital regularly over 100% capacity. In fact, no hospital will face more demand over the next 20 years in Ontario than Trillium Health Partners. So when the pandemic hit, we were one of the hospitals most impacted, with some of the highest number of COVID patients in the province. And after almost 2 years, our hospital staff have been challenged with limited bed capacity, as well as working within Mississauga Hospital's aging infrastructure, which was built in 1958. The need to renew our infrastructure for the 2.2 million people we serve and who live in the West GTA has never been more urgent and apparent. And as you may know, 2.5 months ago, Premier Ford and the Minister of Health, Christine Elliott, confirmed the Government of Ontario's commitment to build a new Mississauga hospital, the largest hospital in Canada, and to expand the Queensway Health Centre. We could not be more grateful for the support of the Government of Ontario. But governments alone do not completely fund everything that is required for a world-class health system without the support and help of the community. To solve the most pressing challenges of our healthcare system, to build new, bigger, modern hospitals, we need the entire community behind us. In fact, philanthropy and the generosity that community members place is absolutely essential for hospitals like Trillium Health Partners to provide leading-edge care. It's generous donors that help us fund the high-tech equipment that has revolutionized today's medicine, that helps us undertake research today so we can discover better ways to deliver care for tomorrow. And they help fund the modern facilities that help deliver high quality and accessible care so everyone can get the health care they need when they need it. To build the largest hospital in Canada, we could not do it alone. To truly transform healthcare for the future, we can only achieve this in partnership with someone who is as visionary as we aspire to be at Trillium Health Partners. We are therefore honored to share that Peter Gilgan, the most generous private benefactor to healthcare in this country through the Peter Gilgan Foundation and with the support of his family, has made the single largest donation to a hospital in Canadian history with an extraordinary transformational gift of $105 million to Trillium Health Partners. Peter and his family are highly respected and have a reputation for investing broadly in projects that improve the quality of life. This is especially true of his remarkable generosity to hospitals across the city. Peter actually grew up in Etobicoke and founded Mattamy Homes in 1978 with much of his early success due to projects completed here in this region before he branched out across Canada and the US. And as a developer, Peter has always understood that community is more than a collection of homes. A community is the stepping stone for building families. Peter and his family are long-standing friends to Trillium Health Partners and have given to THP both personally and through the Peter Gilgan Foundation. Peter, your historic gift will ensure that we can expand our modern facilities needed to create a new kind of healthcare that will change the trajectory of our community, our province, and may we dare say the country as well. Your gift will foster the next generation of medical leaders in our country, ready to lead that change. And your gift has inspired over 13,000 members of the Trillium Health Partners family who will see that their efforts have been appreciated and that they can look forward to a new modern facility to work in thanks to your transformational donation. We are so pleased to share that to honor Peter's incredible gift, our 2 sites will be renamed. The Mississauga Hospital will be known as the Peter Gilgan Mississauga Hospital. And the Queensway Health Center will become the Gilgan Family Queensway Health Center. And you can see the images there. We are so incredibly proud that Peter has chosen Trillium Health Partners for his largest gift ever, supporting our bold vision to create a new kind of healthcare for a healthier community. His remarkable gift is going to help catalyze this vision. So as we await the completion of the new Mississauga Hospital and the Queensway Health Center expansion, we have mounted signs at both locations to announce the future naming of each, as you can see here. Please join me in congratulating Peter Gilgan and his family for their generosity and this historical gift to Trillium Health Partners. It is now my sincere pleasure to introduce the President and CEO of Trillium Health Partners, Carly Farrow.
Hi, everybody. Thank you, Caroline. So, hello, everybody out there in the virtual world. Let me start by saying I stand here, Peter, Stephanie, Luke, and the entire Gilgan family. I stand here on behalf of our great organization of over 12,000 people, many of whom I know are dialed in and many who are feeling this in their heart today. These are our staff, professional staff, volunteers, and learners, as well as the community that surrounds us and makes us who we are. On behalf of all of us, a profound thank you. This is one amazing gift. We're deeply honored that you've chosen our hospital for this historic donation, and we could not be more excited and optimistic about the impact of your investment for the future of our community and beyond. So I started my career here at Trillium Health Partners over 10 years ago, and I came out here to work on one of the only voluntary mergers of hospitals in our province. It combined the Mississauga Hospital, the Credit Valley Hospital, and the Queensway Health Center. And from the beginning, 10 years ago, this merger was based on a simple concept. Together, there is no limit to what we can achieve. Caring for the largest and most diverse community in Canada and a microcosm for the growing and changing population across the country, we believed we had an opportunity to create a new kind of healthcare. Today, a decade later, we are one of Canada's largest hospitals offering a full range of care, including complex procedures for cardiac, neurosurgery, stroke, cancer, and more. Our organization now teaches over 1,200 learners, including over 600 medical learners. We are also home to the Institute for Better Health, attracting the best minds who see an opportunity to change healthcare delivery and improve the health of a whole population. But our facilities have not kept pace with our patient volumes or the evolving standards. Before the pandemic, hallway medicine was our reality. With COVID, we've had to stretch even more to overcome the limitations of these older facilities. And we know that these pressures will continue, and indeed they will accelerate. Moving forward, we know that Trillium Health Partners will face more demand in the next 20 years than any other hospital in the province. So our plan to address the future needs of our community is called Trillium HealthWorks. It's both aggressive and realistic. It will include building the biggest hospital site in Canada to replace our Mississauga Hospital, and we'll also expand our Queensway Health Centre by building a center of excellence in post-acute care as a part of that site. The new Peter Gilgan Mississauga Hospital will have over 950 beds, becoming the largest hospital in Canada. It will house a novel 3-story surgical interventional platform with 23 operating rooms. That's up from 14 today, as well as cath labs, neuro suites located beside program-specific intensive care units. The new emergency department will become one of the largest in the province, and it will improve patient experience and reduce wait times. At the Queensway Health Centre, the Gilgan Family Queensway Health Centre, a new 9-story tower will add 350 beds, all private rooms with leading edge specialized care for rehab and complex continuing care. These modern facilities will have the latest technology and advanced systems, ones that we are developing now to be more connected to patients and providers in the community. A complete system is what we're building, so we can avoid hospitalization wherever possible. But when that care is needed, we are able to transition people to the right care at the right place for the best outcomes. This is a system that fosters education, research, and innovation in the best practice environment for our staff, and one that builds a healthier community overall. Thank you, Peter, Stephanie, Luke, and the Gilgan Family Foundation. Thank you for believing in this vision and so impactfully supporting our plans to achieve it. So, earlier today, we shared this extraordinary news with our THP family. And so now I would like to take a moment to give you a sense of how our staff have reacted to this incredible news.
We're so excited for our new hospital.
Thank you, Peter.
Thank you very much, Mr. Gilgan. We're going to have a fantastic hospital thanks to you.
Thank you for helping to shape the future of healthcare in our community.
Thank you.
Thank you, Peter. You're the best.
Thank you very much. It was a good start to the day.
Thank you, Peter.
Thank you for your generous donation for the new Mississauga Hospital.
Thank you, Peter, for this incredible donation.
Thank you, Peter.
Thank you, Peter, for your generous contribution. We really appreciate it.
Thank you, Peter Gilgan.
Thank you for helping to create a new kind of healthcare for a healthier community.
Okay, awesome. And now I am excited to go live to some of our frontline teams who we are able to dial in today. So I'm going to go one by one, and I'm going to start with the Mississauga Hospital. I can see my colleagues, Dr. Dante Mora and Catherine Hayward-Murray, dancing over there, and they are at our 4B, and we've got our 4B and 4D unit there. Ida, our manager, is there. So can you hear us, guys? Can we hear them? We can't hear you yet.
Can you hear us?
Oh, we can hear you now. We can hear you now. So what's the vibe over there right now?
I am telling you the excitement, you can feel it, it's palpable. This is Catherine, and I am at the Mississauga Hospital, and I'm handing over to my partner, Dante.
I'm Dante, and we're live here at a unit. This is 4B. This was a unit that was This is a unit that was hard hit during the COVID period. These people came to work every day. They're heroes. Like all of the staff here at Trillium Health Partners, we're so proud of this organization. And thank you, thank you, thank you. I'm going to pass you over to Ida, one of our nurse managers, and the team.
Go, Ida.
Thank you. Hi, Peter and family. Thank you so much for this amazing, incredible donation that you've made to our new Mississauga hospital. The new build is going to have a tremendous impact on our current capacity challenges and allow us to deliver the amazing inclusive patient care in our growing community. As the largest medicine program here in Canada at Trillium Health Partners, we have provided care to the sickest patients through this pandemic, and we know how much this build will mean to us and the future of our community. Having increased capacity in modern hospital facilities will help us respond to future healthcare concerns. But most of all, the new hospital will mean so much to all of us, our patients, their families, and to every single dedicated staff who comes to work every day and provides life-saving care each and every day here at the hospital. Thank you, Peter.
Okay, thank you to 4B, 4D, and a shout out to our medicine units, because as you may know, our medicine units are where our COVID inpatients are often cared for. So our amazing staff that you just got to see have been those people that have been caring for our community these last months. Okay, now I am shifting gears and I'm going to move over to the Credit Valley Hospital. And we've got there Allison Quigley, who's our Senior Vice President of Patient Care Services. And she is on 1A surgery. Allison, can you hear us?
I sure can, Carly.
All right. How's the vibe over in 1A today?
Well, we're going to see. We're going to see you, Dante and Catherine, and raise you some 1A surgery excitement over here.
Any messages for us here in Mission Control?
Yeah, you know, we were talking about how incredible this donation is, and really the step forward that this provides so that we can actually deliver on our mission for a new kind of healthcare for a healthier community. We are so excited here and really super excited about what this means for our patients who require surgery in our community, and this awesome team who is going to provide care and is really up for it. So guys. Yeah. Now to Sherry.
Sherry France, the manager of 1A Surgery. Hello, everyone. First, I'd like to thank Peter Gilgan and his family for his generosity. This is such an amazing announcement and truly inspiring moment for THP. We're so excited for the new hospital and what it will mean for our surgery program. Over the past 2 years, we've faced many challenges, and it is so great to be able to take a moment to focus on our bright future. Once the new hospital is built, we will be able to add surgical capacity, and we will be better able to serve the community by offering a greater specialization of services while allowing our patients to receive high quality care close to home. I know this will mean so much to the patients who rely on our surgical services, and we can't thank you enough.
Thank you. Okay, 1A, as usual, amazing. Sherry, thank you so much. Allison, amazing, amazing. 1A surgery, also a unit that had to convert services often during the pandemic to take care of our COVID patients as well. So a huge shout out to that team who works so hard and is so excited that surgeries are restarting. So thank you, 1A. Now we are going to move along to the Queensway Health Center. And I saw them there on screen a minute ago. So we have Deborah Carson, our EVP of Patient Care Services, who is there with our Moyer Center. Deb, how is it over there? Looks pretty calm.
So psyched, and Catherine, Dante, Allison, we're going to raise you even one more in terms of the energy level and enthusiasm. It is so thrilling to be at the Queensway Health Center site, where the first of our series of master plan builds is going to take place. So exciting. And I am going to pass the microphone on to Jennifer Santos, who's our extraordinary manager for this team. On behalf of all of the staff and patients here at the Queensway Health Center, we want to thank you, Peter Gilgan and your family, for this generous donation. We know that this contribution will allow healthcare teams like ours to continue to provide great rehab and complex continuing care services for our whole region for years to come. Thank you so much for your generosity.
Thank you, Moyer Center, who we always can rely on for those kinds of cheers. And thank you to our Moyer Center, who takes care of some of our most vulnerable people in this community and have worked so hard to protect the safety of those patients, especially when those patients could not have their loved ones with them. So a huge shout out to Moyer Center and for all that you do. So before we end, though, we are going to go and visit the Reactivation Care Center, who is not on the screen. Okay, listen, I did not know that, but I want to say to the RCC team who is listening, thank you, thank you, thank you. This is our center that we run up at the Humber River site. And this is an example of what will be brought back into Mississauga, back into West Toronto, back into Trillium Health Partners. They do amazing work up there. Thank you, RCC. So there's a little glimpse of the feeling of joy that is happening around THP today. On behalf of THP staff, professional staff, volunteers, and learners, the hospital board of directors, but most importantly, on behalf of patients, families, and the community we serve, thank you, Peter. And thank you to the Gilgan Family Foundation. We are humbled by this gift and your trust and belief in what we can do for this community. Thanks to your generosity, together we're going to succeed in creating a new kind of healthcare for a healthier community. At this time, I have the privilege of introducing Joseph Perilla, who is one of our fantastic nurses. Joseph was the 2020 Nurse of the Year, and he's worked on a medicine unit, 3A, at Mississauga Hospital and across the organization, including in our vaccine center during this pandemic. So Joseph, I welcome you to the podium.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Joseph Perilla. I'm a registered practical nurse on 3A medicine here at the Mississauga Hospital. I was also honored to be the recipient of the 2020 Nurse of the Year Award as part of THP's Better Together and Nursing Week Awards. Over my 15-year nursing career on 3A medicine, we've seen and adapted to our fair share of changes. But there are two things that haven't changed over this period of time. Our staff's compassion and dedication for taking care of this community and the physical environment that we work in. The conversations I've had with my colleagues across the organization are filled with anticipation of working in an ultra-modern facility. We envision not having to navigate stretchers between cramped hospital beds and furniture like little tugboats navigating a crowded harbor. We see ourselves on our break, recharging in new, refreshing open spaces. We envision private patient rooms, so significant in light of the pandemic, where patients have their own dedicated spaces to heal, well beyond what a pulled curtain can provide. We see a state-of-the-art hospital acting as a magnet for healthcare professionals and providers looking to be part of our team. But most importantly, we see ourselves reaching countless more people in this community by making healthcare more accessible to all. Peter, Luke, Stephanie, our culture of compassionate care will remain unchanged, and your donation will only amplify the great work we do every day by eliminating the challenges we experience on the front line daily. Your foundation's vision of ever-improving healthcare for all is 100% aligned with THP's mission for a new kind of healthcare for a healthier community. The redevelopment of the Mississauga Hospital and expansion of the Queensway Health Center is well-deserved, and we're so excited to share this partnership with your foundation. So on behalf of everyone who takes care of this community at THP and the entire team across all of our hospital sites, thank you for your generosity and for believing in all of us at Trillium Health Partners.
Thank you so much, Joseph, for those incredible words. It is now my pleasure to introduce Kevin and Savi Singh, who have been patients at our hospital and have an incredible story to share. So welcome, Kevin and Savi.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Kevin Singh, and this is my beautiful wife, Savi Singh. We're here today to share a story of an event that occurred in 2018 when I was 35 years old, and it was just 3 weeks before our wedding in Jamaica. On May 11, 2018, I came home from work and everything appeared to be normal. Later in the night, I started to have feelings of indigestion that persisted. After some persuasion, I listened to my wife, Savi, who is also a registered nurse, and took an aspirin and a nitro spray and agreed to going to the hospital to have it looked at. Before leaving the house, Savi asked me if I wanted to go to the good hospital, meaning THP, or the closest one. And I said the good hospital. The reason why we consider THP the good hospital is because Savi and I both had experiences in the past with THP, as both of our parents were admitted on separate occasions and were impressed with the level of care they received.
As soon as we arrived at THP, the registration clerk asked us for Kevin's health card, and as I turned to ask him for it, he stated that he felt dizzy. He started to collapse right there in the lobby, and I ran to his side to try to break his fall and avoid him from hitting his head. Unfortunately, I wasn't fast enough, and Kevin fell and hit his head and started to have what appeared to be a seizure and then went into cardiac arrest. The following moments seemed to happen in a blur as I recall a code blue being called and healthcare workers rushing to her side within seconds. Kevin was placed on a stretcher and rushed into a trauma room in the emergency with me present, where CPR was initiated on him. I remember collapsing by the side of Kevin's stretcher onto my knees and praying and talking to a lady who had appeared by my side and was rubbing my shoulders to provide comfort. These moments were very scary as I was filled with dread and a fear of a future without Kevin in it. As a nurse who was trained in the ER, I knew every call that they were making and what it meant and was able to read the monitors and knew how dire the situation was as he had no pulse. I remember feeling cold and numb and talking to the lady by my side, as well as the team, and telling them to not give up. I can recall telling them the following: Kevin was only 35 years old and that we were to get married in a few short weeks in Jamaica, and that he also had a 12-year-old daughter and was an outstanding man that deserved to live. I remember telling them to not give up on Kevin and to please keep pushing. The team worked on Kevin for what seemed like an eternity, and I can see how tired and scared they were of the outcome being a bad one. Something compelled me to ask them if I could go to his forehead and give him a kiss and talk to him, and they allowed me to do so while still performing CPR. I went up to Kevin's forehead and kissed him and whispered into his ear to not leave me and to keep fighting. Shortly after, I heard someone say that they found his pulse and they started to work on stabilizing him. This was after an unbelievable 38 minutes of CPR. Once Kevin was stabilized, a doctor came to my side and informed me that he would have to be transferred via EMS to the Mississauga site to have a stent inserted, and that she would accompany him and ensure that he would be okay. I was told that I could follow closely in my vehicle, which I was able to do so as my parents had arrived and drove me. Once we arrived at the Mississauga site, the same doctor and another met with me and our family and introduced themselves and explained that Kevin was to have a stent inserted right away in the cath lab. Kevin's stent procedure was successful and he was transferred to the cardiac ICU to recover, and then an inpatient cardiology unit for a few more days, in which he was finally discharged in great health.
I'm proud to say 3 weeks later, we still went through with our plans to get married in Jamaica and to continue our love story. We later found out that one of the nurses who was attending the code to me and was doing CPR on me just recently had gotten married a month or two prior, and she was thinking of her husband. And that one of the doctors who was running the codes that night, his name was also Kevin. Dr. Kevin later told us that every time Savi was yelling, "Kevin, keep pushing, Kevin, don't give up," that he thought Savi was talking to him and told her that she encouraged him that day.
The staff that worked on Kevin that night took such a personal interest and was determined to not let him die.
38 minutes was the total time that I had no pulse, and that the incredible team worked on me and did not give up. I'm standing here today with no other health issues or complications from that event, and I'm forever grateful to the incredible personnel and best-in-class care that this hospital has provided to us that day and the following days in recovery.
THP will always be a part of our family, and the moment has defined the way that we approach life. We will forever be supporters of the foundation, and as we plan for a family of our own, this is the only place that we would want to have our future children.
We want to thank Peter and the Gilgan family for your generous donation to THP. As you heard, THP has impacted our lives for the better throughout the years, and we wouldn't be standing here today if it weren't for the outstanding care and dedication that we have been privy to. Your donation will provide the resources to save countless lives and generations to come, and THP is a deserving hospital, as the care we have witnessed on countless occasions has been superior to none.
It is because of people like you, Peter, Stephanie, Luke, and your family, as well as the amazing staff here at Trillium Health Partners, and other people, that I have my husband here standing with me today. And it will be because of you that others will have their loved ones here tomorrow. We do not say this lightly when we say thank you from the bottom of our hearts.
Thank you so much, Kevin and Savi, for sharing your incredible story. At this moment, I would like to welcome up Mayor Bonnie Crombie, our Mayor of Mississauga, who is a huge supporter of our hospital, and she's going to share a few words. Welcome, Mayor.
Well, thank you, Caroline, and thank you to everyone, especially for all the work you're doing to help strengthen our healthcare system right here in beautiful Mississauga. Of course, I'd like to acknowledge Carly Farrow. Carly, you have done an outstanding job leading this hospital through arguably the most challenging time in its history. And to Joseph Perilla, congratulations on being awarded Nurse of the Year. What an amazing honor, and how articulate you are. Wonderful. Kevin and Savvy, what a moving story. Thank you for sharing that for us. And thank you for being such strong voices for the patients. And to Hazel McCallion, who will be coming up shortly. She is honorary guardian of Trillium Health Partners, and now also the namesake of our very special Hurontario LRT, which will link Mississauga with the rest of the GTHA to right here to the new hospital, which we are so excited. And now, of course, the man of the hour, Peter Gilgan, the reason we're all here today. I would just like to say our profound thanks to you and your family and your foundation. What an incredible gift you've given our community through this historic donation. The gift of help, the gift of hope, and the promise of a brighter future. This is truly a gift that will last generations to come and will further cement your legacy here in our city. And on behalf of the city of Mississauga, the members of my council, and all of our residents, from the bottom of all our hearts, we thank you. We thank you all. Thank you for stepping up in the most remarkable way to help us build this world-class hospital. And I, for one, cannot wait to step foot in the Peter Gilgan Mississauga Hospital. The reality is that Mississauga is growing and changing, and so are our healthcare needs. It's a well-known fact that Trillium Health Partners will experience more demand for services than any other hospital over the next 20 years. In fact, 7 times more than the average hospital in the province. And while the team here at THP has done so much for our community throughout the pandemic, it has frankly brought to light some of the real limitations of the Mississauga site, which is why today's announcement is an absolute game changer. We simply could not build this hospital without the support of the community and from you. And when the Peter Gilgan Mississauga Hospital is complete, it will not only increase our capacity and reduce our wait times for residents, it also means that Mississauga will be home to one of the largest and most innovative hospitals anywhere in Canada, capable of supporting our growing community and those across the GTHA with cutting-edge treatments, that will improve and, of course, save lives, while creating at the same time thousands of highly skilled jobs and growing our economy. It'll also help build a sense of community and change the landscape of the corner of Huron, Ontario and the Queensway, and will be a fully accessible and serviced by the new Hazel McCallion line. This really is a monumental day for our city and one that will not be soon forgotten. Peter, I just want to thank you once again, to you and the Peter Gilgan Foundation, of course, your children who are here, Stephanie and Luke. I want to thank you both for this tremendous gift to help redevelop our hospital, as well as to expand and redevelop the Queensway Health Centre. Thank you as well to Trillium Health Partners leadership and staff, along with the foundation. Thank you, Caroline, for the incredible work that you do to keep our city healthy and to keep us safe, while helping us all build a world-class healthcare system right here at home. And of course, to the many generous donors who are helping us raise the bar and set a new standard for healthcare in this country. Together, we'll build back to better, thanks to each and every one of you. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mayor Crombie, and thank you for being such a champion for our hospital here in Mississauga, soon to be known as the Peter Gilgan Mississauga Hospital. So before we invite Peter up to say a few words, we're going to invite one more special guest. And Peter actually said, I don't want to follow this woman because she knows how to own a podium here. So it is my pleasure to invite up in a moment, Madam Hazel McCallion, who, if you can believe it, helped build not only this hospital, but our Credit Valley site in the 80s around her kitchen table. Last year, she turned 100 years young and used her birthday to raise an incredible $3 million for the hospital. And just yesterday, Valentine's Day, better known as the Hazel McCallion Day, was her 101th birthday. So it's my pleasure to welcome our incredible honorary hospital guardian, Hazel McCallion.
Thank you very much. You know, this is a very special day for me, for more ways than one. First of all, to be with Peter Gilgan. I worked with him for years, and his word was you didn't need his signature on anything. If he told you he was going to do something, it was done. A great builder, a builder of homes for so many people, not just in Mississauga, in the Greater Toronto area, also in Alberta and Florida. So he has spread his wings far beyond the GTA. A builder of homes, yes. And I hope someday that he will agree that the next homes he builds, that he will put a brick at the foundation to say, Peter Gilgan built, because you know what that means? That home is well built, just like SHIP did, because it recognizes a builder with integrity, a builder that wants to build a home that will last. But most important of all, he was a very special builder in Mississauga because he set up a department in his company that if a person who purchased a home had a problem, there was a department that they could call to go out and fix the problem. And as mayor, and I'm sure Bonnie knows that, he gets so many calls about a builder building a home, a problem occurring, and nothing being done about it. Well, that didn't occur with any home built by Peter Gilgan. He had a section that went out and looked after it. So Peter, I want you to know I enjoyed working with you. You were a builder who, as I say, you didn't need his signature, You just have to hear from Peter that he was going to do it, and it was done. So today is even more special because I had a vision, and I know the foundation knows about it, that I wanted this hospital to be called the Peter Gilgan Hospital. So a very big birthday gift for me, in my opinion, is when the foundation told me they were going to name this hospital the Peter Gilgan Hospital. It was such a dream of mine come true. And so today, and to think, and by the way, he hasn't only contributed to healthcare. Think of Maple Leaf Gardens that he converted. Think of all the other projects that he has supported over the years. I remember the day he loved cycling, by the way. He cycled all across Canada. I think he's now gone east to Halifax, etc. And I remember the day I was on a tandem bike with him, raising funds for this hospital. Yeah, we raised funds. People supported us, and I sat on the back of his tandem and we rode, raising funds for the hospital. What a great day. Peter Gilgan is a role model of a great Canadian, in my opinion. And I want to say, Peter, it's just such a special birthday gift for me of 101 that today we would be accepting the largest donation ever made to a hospital in Canada from a man who built so many communities, who built great homes for people, and now is building with his big donation a health system that will look after people that come out of the homes and need health care. What an accomplishment, folks. What an accomplishment. So Peter, thank God for Peter Gilgan.
Thank you so much, Hazel. To this day, we're all still amazed. You get up here with no notes and you are able to give one heck of a speech. Thank you so much. Well, now it is my profound pleasure to introduce the man of the hour, visionary philanthropist, who has not only made history today, but will be changing lives for many, many years to come. Peter, please join us up here at the podium.
First of all, I don't know who the heck you were talking about, Hazel. That guy sounds way better than I am, but anyway, just ask my kids. But anyway, there's already been a lot said, and perhaps I just wanted to make a couple of points. So my first interaction with Mississauga was in the 1960s. There was a little town called Cooksville, and myself and a nerd friend of mine used to ride our bicycles all the way out from Etobicoke, all the way out to Cooksville, to a store called Heathkit. We bought these electronic components, and we'd bring them home and solder them together and make our own amplifiers and things like that. We thought was very cool. And beyond that, of course, was farm roads. It was farm roads. And in the early 70s, I was a young chartered accounting student, really exciting job, I'll tell you. And one of our clients was out in a little village called Streetsville, a little farm community, more or less. And the mayor of Streetsville, and this was 1970, 71, 72, was none other than her worship Mayor Hazel McCallion, who would visit the few industries in the burgeoning village of Streetsville to see how things were going. That's the time frame even post when the current Mississauga Hospital was built. That's perhaps as far as the vision went in the 1950s when the current hospital was built, which we to imagine what things would look like perhaps 20 years later. And here we are, 50, 60 years later. Mississauga took the building as the fastest growing city in Canada for at least one decade, perhaps two. And as the city grew, the needs of the city grew correspondingly. Healthcare didn't, of course, keep up. Many of our infrastructure systems sort of seem to lag that. So this is an opportunity to not only catch up, but hopefully get ahead of the future, population needs in this region that's become like, square one was nothing. Square one was a pasture. You're laughing, and here we are, like, what are you talking about? Square one was a city, the M city or whatever, and all this stuff. So this is an opportunity for this extremely exciting hospital development to take place, and I mean that sincerely. I know a little bit about new hospitals. I've been involved in a number of them over the years, as some of you may know, and the thoughtfulness that's gone into this, the foresight, the participation of all of the team members in planning the future is going to guarantee a really remarkable world-class facility that will be inspirational leadership, I think, across our country at the very least. So I'm very grateful to be part of that. And lastly, as Luke and Stephanie and I often talk about, is that we really hope that our investment in this new hospital will open the eyes of others, encourage others to, and there's so many others of means, either living here in the city now or whose lives have been impacted by the city over generations, to really investigate the opportunity for them to give back to the community and to contribute to the benefit of the community going forward. So we sincerely hope and encourage others to at least look at the opportunity provided by the foundation and our illustrious co-chair, my friend John Pearson at the back, is managing from the rear, as he always does, but doing a great job. So thank you for the opportunity to be involved.
Thank you so much, everyone. Well, this brings us to the end of our press conference today. We just want to say thank you so much to everybody who's joined us. We know there were hundreds of you online today, so thank you. I want to say thank you to our speakers, Carly Farrow, Mayor Crombie, Hazel, and of course, Kevin and Savi. Thank you for sharing your story again. Joseph, thank you for representing all of the healthcare workers here at Trillium Health Partners and all of the voices from THP. Peter, Luke, Stephanie, thank you so much for what you are doing for this community, transforming healthcare both in the west end of the GTA, in Ontario, and what we hope will be all of Canada. We could not be more thrilled and more proud today to have announced this historical donation to create the new Peter Gilgan Mississauga Hospital and the Gilgan Family Queensway Health Center. So on behalf of the 2.2 million people you will impact and more over the generations, a huge, huge thank you. Thank you to everyone.